Hello, I am Jacob Hemlock. Today I'm going to be showing you the basics of the basics. How to fight in the most basic and basics of way. And the most basic technique to learn how to fight is to, first of all, figure out how the stance works. Now, we're going to take a few examples here. The first example is boxing. We're going to go with the typical boxing stance. As you can see, I got my fist up here. And from here, we can start figuring out the stance. And what I mean by figuring out is we experiment with our body movement. Now, obviously, we start with our attacks. We got a jab. We can like swing under. We got like an uppercut going on there. We got the right cross. That's the left cross actually. But like we got a cross punch. We got the classic uppercut. And also, we can look at our feet if we want, but I don't got a good angle in my room, so I can't really show off kicks, but well, I kind of can. Like, from this position, you can do like front kick. You can also get a side kick in. You can obviously go for the classic knee. Like, basically, you're feeling it out. That's what the basic is. You're feeling out the stance. Like, another example is, over here I got my quarterstaff. The interesting thing about a quarterstaff is it's a very simple but yet cool weapon. Well, if you had the right wood. So I had like the right wooden staff. You could like bend it and do like a whipping attack. I swear to God, I've seen a video of a monk do it. But alright, you don't have to believe me on that because I don't have the video. I didn't take the effort to find it. What I can show you though is like the basics of like, in this case with the quarterstaff, you can feel out the motions based on the stance you hold it. With the quarterstaff, typically you hold it in the middle, and you lean that forward, and you like swing that forward. Or you do that, or you sweep at the leg, or you can't see it. Well, actually, I'm gonna tilt the camera down so you can. Ah shit! Now I gotta like hang you over the edge. All right, I'm like here. Yeah, I can do that. You can like do a jab. That's really what this lesson's all about. Is like you should just experiment if you want to figure it out. Because there's a lot you can do just by experimenting and figuring it out. Another quick example I'll give with the quarterstaff is that you can also kind of figure out how to use a spear because it's long enough to where you can pretend it's a spear even though it's not sharp. And a spear is by far the simplest weapon because honestly, just very rarely any bullshit you're supposed to do with a spear. You just fucking thrust. You just thrust. You just want to fucking be like that guy from The World After the Fall, where you practice the shit out of your thrusting technique. And yeah, I'm willing to bet if you're a master of the spear, there's very few other techniques you're going to learn with the spear besides get good at thrusting. Yeah. Let's see. Now, another quick thing to get into is also you want to figure out your motions for dodging. Like, for example, you can do the classic leans, like you're a boxer. You lean back, duck, obviously, do a quick duck, do a little side hop back. Like, you gotta experiment and figure out how you can dodge as well. Especially when, for example, you're using this quarterstaff. Because this is a long weapon. And I'm in a small room, so like, check this. Okay, I'm honestly surprised I could do that, but you see all I did was that. I'm already tapping against the wall, so you don't actually want to use a quarterstaff in a small room. If you're in a small room, I want to grab this guy. This guy, got motion, I can whip it around, I can do what the fuck I want. That's a big reason why, in the ancient days, samurais would carry two weapons. They would carry a long sword, which I don't mean like a katana. Well, I do mean a katana. When I say long sword, I mean the katana is longer than the wakizashi. The wakizashi is an indoor sword. The reason it's indoors is because it's shorter, so you don't fucking run into shit when you swing it like you would with a katana when you're inside. Alright, so I want to touch on this thing called discipline, which I'm not going to make a big deal out of because I'm not like I'm a stoner, man. Like, I'm not gonna be lecturing you to fucking go to work every day. Discipline in this case, as a fighter, is just figure out why you're fighting and when you should fight. Now, we're gonna touch on why. Now, for example, you should never just, I'm just gonna underline simply, never fight for a stupid fucking reason. Like, seriously, if you just look at yourself and you're like, this is stupid, don't fight. Just walk away if you can. And good luck. Because, I'm pretty sure I've seen people just get in fights over the stupidest shit. And I'm just sitting there like, why? Why is that in their life? And there's just stupid videos on the internet. Like, that's all I'm gonna say. Like, I just see enough fights on the internet to where it's just like, why is half the world getting in these fights? Like, most of them are stupid. Like, I swear, we dialed back all the cool fight videos on WorldStar and we backed it up like 10 seconds and learned the why of that fight happened, it'd be like, this is the stupidest shit every time. Alright, and when you should fight is, like, honestly, that's a philosophy thing to an extent, because for the obvious example, you should fight during the day because you can see, and you shouldn't fight at night because you can't see. There's a few more other things, like there's religious reasons, which is just rude to fight people during a religious moment. Like when an Islamic guy is like doing their prayer, like, why are you interrupting their prayer? Stop that, that's rude as shit. Which is a thing that happens in humanity, and it's bullshit. Is you're gonna get an irrational reaction from the man that's in his middle of his prayer and you're interrupting his fucking prayer. Which you can't really judge them that much for. So there's that. Because, like, fucking interrupting my talk with God, I'd get pissed off too. Alright. Now I'm going to mention something that should be a bit obvious, which is that if you're fighting for sport, like in a boxing ring, like, do what the fuck you want as long as it's within the rules, man. Like, because everyone's consensually fighting there. Like, no one's getting dragged into a fight over some stupid shit like a girl that you're not even talking to, really. Alright, now that's enough about discipline, because I'm not going to lie. I'm one of the last guys to tell you about discipline, because again, I'm a stoner, and also I'm kind of fat, but that's beside the point. I can still tell you some cool stuff. Now, another reason you should experiment with stuff, with when fighting, or just experimenting with your body in general, is you can learn things. Like, for example, I'm going to tell you what's the most powerful attack using both your arms at the same time. Turns out there's only one attack you can really exert your full arm strength with, and that is the classic kendo strike, or the overhead kendo strike, which, let me see if I can move. I'm going to crouch down to demonstrate. Alright, as you can see, you pull your head back here, you do that swing, and it looks like you're swinging a sword. Now, the reason I'm still holding my hands like that, despite the fact that you might think you should do this, where you clasp your fists together, well, I'm pretty sure I learned at one point that this sucks, actually. And you're pretty much better off if you really, for some reason, want to try doing this. Just hold your hands like this. Because this sucks dick, apparently. Yeah, I'm not a fight guy, though. I'm just an amateur, honestly. So, for all I know, I'm dumb on that. Alright, so anyway. Another thing... Okay, one second. Oh yeah, I just remembered, actually. Now here is a pro tip. You know that classic Jeet Kune Do stance Bruce Lee does? Well, guess what? There's a reason his arm hangs a lot like this. It's not just to look cool. It's because you're protecting your kidney. Because you have one kidney on each side, right? If you get hit in the kidney, you get fucked up. So one of my kidneys is protected because I'm standing sideways, right? The second kidney is protected by my arm because it's hanging along the side of my body. So basically, keep your arm hanging down, you're protecting your kidney. So that's good advice, because not only does it look cool, but you're protecting your kidney, so you look cool and you're being defensive. Now, my greatest piece of advice on how to get stronger with the technique is probably to try to get a hobby where you're doing something similar to the motion you're often taking. Now, let's go with a basic example. Let's say you want to get better swinging a bat. Now, there are two ways you can do this as a career. One, you get lucky and you become a good enough baseball player to join the NBA. Now, for normal people like me, our option would become a lumberjack. And someone that uses an axe or something, because I hope that still exists, because otherwise I don't. This idea sucks actually. But if you still use an axe as a lumberjack, the lumberjack option is literally just doing this all day and chopping down trees. So you can get paid to just spend all day getting better with your bat technique until you're chopping through fucking trees like it's nothing. And now then you're better at swinging a bat as well because it's the same motion. Most of the time. Because obviously in baseball you're like adjusting to the swing of, not the swing, the pitch of the ball, so sometimes you gotta like do a low swing or you gotta like fucking, I don't know, I'm not a baseball guy. Now, I'm gonna tell you that to an extent, fights are mind games, kind of. I'm not gonna pretend you're gonna get overly complicated like you're fucking Kira versus L in there. That's never gonna happen unless you're in the worst fight ever, in which case I do not envy you. Your life sucks. I would hate my life with a passion if I had to fucking be Kira levels of intelligent in the middle of the fight. It would be awful. I would die. Anyway. But you should still do mind games. Now the most simplest example of this is a feint. Don't mind that. It's just my cat opening the door and coming inside. Anyway. As I was saying, I'm not showing you the cat. He gets mad when I pick him up. Anyway. So the simplest mind game is to throw a feint and then deliver a strong attack after that. Now, feint is a fake attack that is not supposed to work, or if it does work, it's not supposed to work very well. Now, the best example of this is throwing a jab at your opponent's face. Because even if you miss, you're blocking their vision temporarily. And in that second while their vision is blocked, you just be like, BAM! Strong hit to the fucking stomach. Or some shit. I don't know. It's your combo. Oh, look, he jumped on the table. Now you got to see my cat. Are you happy about it? I'm going to stop the camera before he shows you his butt on accident.
Face, Harold. Harold, show the camera your face, Harold.
Now, we're gonna get close to ending this. Now, my second last thing is my advice on what the basics should be. Now, there's a lot of basics, honestly, for your fighting style. I feel like the basics of the basics should be this. Number one, I already forgot it. I already forgot what the fuck I was gonna say. I swear to God, I just thought, okay, number one, I already taught you number one, actually. It's feel it out. If you ever want to learn a fighting style, learn their stance somehow and feel it out. Or feel out your body in general. Feel out what you can and can't do and figure out how to fight from there. Number two, situational awareness. Because if the only time you're going to be in a controlled environment in a fight is when you're in a sport. If you are in a fucking street fight, you are dealing bullshit. People might jump you. People will pull so much bullshit, it's awful. And stupid. It's so stupid. I swear to God, the fights in my town are so dumb. Alright, anyway. Rule number 3 is... Fuck. What was rule number 3? I already forgot rule number 3. One sec. I need a second. Now, I'm going to add on to situational awareness because I was actually rather bare bones now that I think about it, I got distracted. Situational awareness should be simply looking around once in a while. And I mean, if you are at least on a street fight, you definitely be looking over your shoulder once in a while, making sure none fucking bullshit's happening. Because bullshit does happen. Anyway, now, if you excuse me, I'm going to stand here and stare blankly at my wall until I remember what Rule 3 is. Alright, I just realized there are 4 basic rules that are important. So we're gonna jump to the third one real quick, which is what's now the third one, before I fucking forget it, because I'm already forgetting about it. We're just gonna go with the third one that's in my head. Footwork. Footwork is the most important aspect of your build. Footwork is important because it means you can dodge. And let's be honest, unless you're doing a stupid martial art, which is like, for some reason, you should take hits. And the only way you should do that is you're actually thick bone, which if you think thick bone people aren't real, you're wrong. And they hurt the punch. So don't fucking fight a thick bone person unless you're ready for your fist to hurt every time you punch them. I'm not joking about that, by the way. They really do hurt when you punch them. And it sucks. Anyway. Anyway, footwork is very important. Very important. Basically, because that is what makes you move around. If you have superior footwork, someone, you can literally just dance around them and throw jabs at them and win the fight. Like, it's not that hard if you have superior footwork. Well, it is hard, but it was immensely easier to win fights if your footwork is better than theirs. Like, it's just a fact. Because you can just dodge hits, you can conserve energy, and you can throw punches when you want. While if you're someone that's meant to take hits, you have some advantages, but mainly you're in the counter business. And if someone has superior footwork to you, or they can slip out of your fucking grasp almost every time, man. Like, so you need footwork as well as the ability to take hits. Now the fourth basic is basically how many fighting styles you need. Now, I think the bare minimum is personally one standing combat style, one crouching combat style, and then you can wrestle on the ground. Because I'm going to be honest, the only combat you have when you're on your back on the ground is to wrestle. So you should learn to wrestle if you're serious about fighting. Unless you're going for a singular sport fighting thing, like boxing, for example. In which case, just focus on your punching and footwork, man, because it's not like you're trying to grapple anyone. Well, actually, that is a technique kind of in boxing, but I'm pretty sure the hug technique in boxing is just to buy time. If there is an actual aspect of that in a real fight, someone let me know, because I do not think that's meant to do anything other than buy time. And, I mean, it works, but that's it. And I will say, if you're trying to be a bit more advanced, you might want multiple fighting styles. Like, I don't know if you need multiple wrestling styles. I feel like wrestling is fine as is. Like, I don't think you need to learn more than one school of wrestling as long as you can, because with wrestling, you really want superior strength and technique in order to force them into the grip. Submission you want, and then you can start fucking with them from there. While with your standing and crouching techniques, you probably want at least, if you're trying to be advanced, I'd say you want 2 fighting styles, like where you can switch on the fly. Hell, maybe even more if you just want to go wild. But like I say, if you want to go in for advanced levels, you probably want to learn multiple martial arts. You probably don't need to learn all of them, but the entirety of the martial art, but just enough to where you can like mix things up, just like so you can fuck with them. Because like, there's a thing with mind games, as I mentioned before, that with the psychology of people, that if you like confuse them enough, it will like fuck with them. Like, you could legit like overwhelm someone by just switching up your fight styles during a fight. Like, I'm not kidding. You could do that. You could literally fuck with them just by going from boxing into like the praying mantis, and then you just fucking start doing the fucking karate. Okay, the Karate Kid shit ain't gonna work, obviously, but switching fight styles during a fight will fuck with them. Alright, and that's almost everything I want to touch on. Like, the last thing I just want to say is please try to have morality with what you do. If you're trying to be seriously into fighting, do it as a sport. Please don't go hunting people down on the streets, man. That's really fucking rude. Like, don't be a street fighter. Do it as a sport. And that's all I'm going to say. Alright, and that's it. I'm Jacob Hemlock, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace and love, which I know is funny to say after teaching you guys how to fight a bit, but I don't know, we don't have peace on Earth yet, and I'm a fight nerd still at the end of the day, so like, do it as a sport and I won't judge you. Whatever. Peace and love. Hello, it is me in better lighting. Anyway, I wanted to touch on one more thing, which is that this fighting thing is not going to be the main thing. I'm honestly probably going to be the kind of YouTuber that isn't going to have a main thing. Like, I'm just going to do whatever the fuck I want. I will say, if it wasn't obvious from my weird profile pic, I'm doing an animated project as my current thing, and the art sucks. I'm just going to be honest with you. A lot of it's going to be slop. You might as well consider it a beginner's project. And yeah, but you'll probably see some random shit from me here and there along the way. You might, I don't know, maybe you'll get lucky and I'll do some gaming vids, but I don't have anyone to game with, so I doubt that'll happen anytime soon. But this is definitely going to be a random shit channel. Do not expect a strong theme unless I drop a massive project on you, which admittedly is what I'm planning on with the animated project. It's going to be It's gonna be a choose your own adventure series, like kind of inspired by Markiplier's Into Space or whatever it's called. I don't remember the space one or the bank. I think the bank heist. Is it the bank heist? I don't remember. Point is, I'm gonna make a choose your own adventure animated series. And it's gonna suck for the most part, besides the writing, and even that's iffy because I have only had very, very minor success in the writing field, and it is what it is with that. So, again, peace and love, and I hope you have a nice day.